What's cracking, people?
I'm Max and I'm a writer.
And I'm Aisha and I'm a chef.
And we are the Browns. And this is our YouTube channel.
On this channel, we'll be sharing story time,
vlogs,
mukbangs,
and come cook with us,
and so much more.
So if this is something that interests you,
please hit the like, share, and subscribe button.
Comment below and hit that notification button so that you know when we upload new videos.
So today we'll be sharing how we met.
Okay, so yeah, we're going to do our how we met video.
Yeah, how did we meet?
Well, we met on Twitter.
We did meet on Twitter. There was a lot of other things that happened, but we definitely met on Twitter.
Which I don't think a lot of people, I know people talk about that online dating and stuff. It wasn't like that.
Not at all. Not at all. We originally met on Anita Baker Twitter, what do you want to call it?
I don't know, club?
A Twitter club. You know, everybody who loved Anita Baker because she was on her farewell tour.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Farewell tour.
Yeah.
And on that tour was one of the last dates that was coming up.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And it was the Valentine's Day concert at Radio City in New York.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we all got together and we were discussing like what events are we going to, which Anita Baker concert we were going to go to, and what city or what state were we going to attend, so we can all try to meet up and, you know, see each other, have some dinner, so on and so forth.
Okay, but you actually had trouble. I had trouble too, but you had trouble.
I had major trouble. I won't disclose her name, but the trouble was major. Originally, I went to New York with someone that I was dating at the time, and unfortunately, that wasn't the right situation. And most of the people that was on the Twitter forum for Anita Baker, none of them really cared for her. Some of her behaviors was out of content. Her verbiage was out of content, but nevertheless, this was the person who I was with. So here goes a concert that I really wanted to see. So we flew to New York.
What happened?
A whole lot happened. Let's just say after that concert in New York was the end of that relationship. How about that? Okay. But in the midst of that, I met this beautiful woman right here that's sitting beside me. My baby. But at that time we were just friends. So I don't want nobody to get the wrong idea that I was going to see one person and secretly meeting up with the next person. That wasn't the case at all.
We actually didn't meet in New York City, not face to face.
Not at all.
We were talking on the DMs. We were talking on the Twitter DMs. And for me, because I'm Canadian, it was really an expensive trip. So I got my ticket, and there was a lot building up towards the ticket. Like, there were people that I was talking to on Twitter that were encouraging me to think positive, and you will come through, believe in God, and God makes a way. Absolutely. And he did. So I got my ticket, and I was really, really happy about it. And then I ended up not being happy with the seats.
Correct.
And I wanted a closer seat, so I bought another ticket, and then I was giving away my old ticket.
That was her original ticket.
Right. And
oh my God, even with that
was a problem, because there was a young woman who was supposedly, she was one of the people I was talking to, and she got upset with me because I was going to give away my ticket. And she thought that I should give it away to a women's shelter.
But here's the thing about it. If it's someone in a women's shelter, we can give away a ticket, correct? But let's get real. It's a women's shelter.
Yeah.
So what would they have to wear? How would they get to New York?
Right.
All of these variables that will go into that. So that didn't make any sense at all. And she was coming at her so...
Yeah, she was coming at me hard.
Very hard.
Yeah, she yelling and carrying on. And I was just like, why are you yelling? Like, what's up with that?
And this same person ended up later on in the day having a problem with me because she was like, oh, you seem real cool, Aisha. When you're there, let's meet up. And I'm like, great. I told her, no problem. Let's meet up. I would love to meet you. But I told her I was bringing my significant other with me. And that blew a tune with her because she felt like I said something that was misread or whatever the case may be. She took it as, oh, well, I'm not into women. Nobody said you were.
That was a conversation that I really enjoyed reading because she had got on me and I was really interested in seeing how she was getting on you. And she was like, I'm not into women, so don't get any ideas. And you were like, no, honey, I told you I'm with somebody. And she was like...
Yeah, I just didn't understand. The only reason why I told her that I was with someone so that you don't think it's just me and you meeting up. I think it was real rude for me to come and bring someone else without announcement. So I was just letting her know that, okay, I have someone else coming with me. Not that I want to strip you down. No, it wasn't nothing like that. But again, that's something that we as lesbians face every single day, because if you encounter a woman and be kind to a woman, speak to them, they think you want them. And that's not what being a lesbian is all about.
Like, that's just not what we're about.
No, I'm not trying to mess around with every woman that I see, and every woman that I see, I don't want to bed them, and every woman that I see don't mean that I like them, nor does it mean that I'm attracted to you. Not at all.
All right.
Yeah, but nevertheless, that was that. But we moved on from there.
Yeah. So I took the bus. It was a 14-hour ride. I took the bus from Toronto, where I'm born. Well, I was born and bred in Toronto. That's my hometown. I took it from Toronto to New York City. And I met a lot of really interesting people on that ride. But anyway, so I got to New York City. I met up with a friend of mine who also from Toronto, who was there on the Wednesday night.
Nice.
The Valentine's Day was Thursday. So I met up with him. We had like cheesecake, and then he left because he had an early flight the next day. And then I went to my hotel and just like hung out and we talked.
Yeah, we talked throughout that period of time leading up to Valentine's Day. She was super excited.
I was really
bouncing off
excited,
the wall,
like crazy excited.
And she really made my New York trip.
Yeah.
She just made it fun because the person that I was with made it very strange and horrible. So you spend all of this money to go, not that money is everything, but you spend money to go from one destination to another. Hotels in New York is not cheap. Rooms are crazy price for such a ridiculous size room, and I just don't sleep anywhere. That's just not me at all, because nope, not trying to do that. Nevertheless, and food, accommodations is the hotel room, but everything else that goes to it, I had this amazing trip planned, horse buggy ride, flowers in the horse. I threw out I really did. And to my dismay, that was not the person that I should have brought on that trip. But everything happens for a reason, right?
Everything does happen for a reason. And we even said that if we had known how close we were, because I was at the Row.
And I forgot the hotel I was at, but it was
right around the corner.
Yeah, we were right around the corner from each other, and I was right down the road from Radio City Musical Hall. So we really was within minutes away from each other.
And I remember I was trying to entertain myself leading up to when I met the ladies for dinner, and I was watching elephants on television. And so I took a a video of it, and I posted it, and I was like, this is what I'm doing, waiting for Anita Baker, you know, and you were like,
you know, I just laughed at her, and I'm like, how many hours, how many minutes? Because this was the going joke, right? So we will all talk to each other right before we all got got out to work. I shouldn't say got up, got out to work. Everybody on that chat worked, and we all worked during the daytime, early morning. So we will all get up and say hello to one another, and the running joke was to get Max to see how many days, how many minutes, how many seconds, because she had it down to the seconds.
I had
how long.
Days, hours, minutes, seconds. And they would be like, how long to the concert? And I'd be like, 4 days, 20 seconds, la 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 la. Yeah.
So we were doing stuff like that. So I was like, okay, Max, how long? So she was like, and she would tell us how long it was going to go. And she really kept my spirits up. When I say she really kept my spirits up, she really kept my spirits up. So I knew this was a person that had to be in my life. And I wasn't looking for her to be in my life romantically. I was just looking for her to be in my life as a friend, because you don't have too many people out there in this world that is going to uplift you and brighten your day, you know? And that she was doing in the midst of that darkness, and she didn't even realize that it was really, really some darkness going on around there. But she was just brightening up my day. But to fast forward onto that.
Okay, so fast forward. It's concert time.
Yes.
I go out to dinner with the ladies.
Yes.
And you.
Yes. Do I have to?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. I went to the concert, and after the concert, I'm just going to say during the concert, it was a mess. And after the concert, I'm coming down the stairs, and I get to see the ladies all gathered up. All the ladies that's been on the chat.
Right. So we were taking pictures. And we were like, because I won't mention the group name, but we were all part of the same group. And we're all taking pictures of the ladies that were there, and we're snapping pictures, and lo and behold, I didn't know that Aisha was watching me jump around taking pictures.
Because she was so excited, so bubbly. And I wanted to introduce myself physically there, but she was just so hyped up and with the crowd and everything, and I felt like I was going to bring some unwanted tension if I brought the person that I was with over to the group. So I just stayed away and, you know, looked at everybody and smiled at everybody. And I did greet everybody, but everybody was so excited. They're like, hi, yeah, how are you? And I kept it moving.
Right.
While all the while just taking a good look at my current wife now.
yeah, taking a good look.
Exactly.
And
I said that.
Yeah. So, the concert was over. I'm on my way back home, and we are still talking.
Right.
And was that when you told me that you had stuff to do? You had to like.
Yeah, I told her when we were talking, the end of the concert, and we were all wrapping up. She was leaving that next morning, if I'm not mistaken. And so was I. I think we were doing different timing, and I knew that my plane was coming. And I knew that, you know how you know that it's the end before you even get anywhere? And
you're talking about your other relationship, right?
Yes, absolutely. Let me just go back just a little bit. Before I got on a plane to even go to New York, I felt that wasn't something that I needed to do.
Right.
I felt like that was the end and I should just stay home. And God gave me so many little clues and so many little things that gave me a nod to say, no, stay home. But me being myself, the little stubborn Pisces, and gotta, finish stuff and see things through and make sure things is exactly the way it is in your mind. I went ahead with the trip which I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
So,
well, no, it was something that you needed
yes,
to do.
Absolutely. You're right.
You needed to end things on a particular note.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it didn't end there, but I knew that, excuse me, I knew that this was the place that was going to tell me what I was feeling was that absolutely correct. So right. Sometimes you just got to see things through, and this was one of the situations that I needed to see things through, and I was absolutely correct. This was something that I needed to dead, and it was something that I should not have pursued, and I shouldn't say shouldn't have, because everything happens for a reason, correct? Well, that's my belief anyway, and I needed to find out all the things that I found out. I needed to see for myself with clarity that this person was not the person for me, and that this person was not going to mesh well with my family, and this person doesn't deserve all that they were getting.
Right. So lo and behold. So I go home. I get home.
Yes.
And I'm telling everybody about the concert and how fabulous it was.
Because it was.
It was fabulous. And I'm talking to my friend Aisha.
Yes.
On Twitter. Absolutely. And we were in each other's DMs. And she says to everybody that she's going to be off Twitter for a while,
right? Because
she's got something she needs to get done. And I was like, "Ooh, that doesn't sound nice at all." So right. I hit her up in the DM and I was like, "Are you okay?"
Right, and I thought that was the sweetest thing, because here we are, our friendship didn't extend past Twitter, and we didn't know each other as meeting someone on the street, sharing a meal over, conversation, any of that. But here she reached out to me, and most people don't do that these days. Somebody always got their own issues or whatever concerns or what they're going through at the time. But this person reached out to me, so I thought that was really nice and very sweet. And I told her, I said, I'm great. I said, but and of course I'm lying saying that I'm great, because really I didn't know her. And if you are a Pisces or know about a Pisces, you know that we are very secretive, we're very closed in, and we don't let too many people in our little box. So at that moment, I told her, I'm great. I'm just going through a lot of things, and I just want to take care of some things before I come back to the group and be the bubbly person that I normally am.
Right. And so that was the beginning of our private conversations.
Right. Absolutely.
That was definitely the beginning of our private conversations.
Yeah.
So she went away for a little while, and then she comes back. And I think that's when you had your tattoo.
Yeah, I went and finished up a personal tattoo that I was working on. And
it's in a personal spot.
Very personal spot. But I was telling, the group, I was like, finally finished this tattoo, this most painful tattoo. And I'm like, it wasn't as painful as I thought, but it was painful. And I was letting them know that finally done. And people were like, oh, okay, let me see. I'm like, this is not a tattoo in a place where, thank you. Okay, hold on a second. She greasing me up. Getting the car back going on, girl. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I was like, this tattoo is in a spot that is not privately, not open to everybody to see. It's in a private area.
And I was like, because, she used to call me a butterfly.
Yes.
But because it didn't click to me where that private area could have possibly been. So I was like, let me see it. I want to see.
And I said to her, okay, you really want to see?
Right. No, you were like, it's in a private.
That's right. I'm sorry. I said, yes.
And then
that's exactly
when
what
I was
said.
Like, oh. And then I was like, is it bad if I still want to see it?
And I said no. And my comment was, how far you want to go?
I was like, I don't even know what that means. I'm just not saying nothing anymore. So I just stopped talking. I was like, I don't know what she means by that.
And I'm a person that's very direct with a lot of things. And if I see something I don't want or want to pursue something, I'm going to go for it. Right? So I took the silence as a challenge. I'm like, okay. So what I turned around and did was took a picture and sent it to her.
Right. So I get this picture and I'm like, is that her?
Boop.
I was like, yeah, that's what that is. And I was like looking at it, like trying to see the whole thing.
She told me that and I started cracking up. But I didn't even show her everything, but I just wanted to show her the tattoo. Because I think the tattoo is a very really beautiful tattoo.
Butterflies and everything. And I was like,
really?
I'm just saying, it was cute. And it was like, I was like, oh, it's very nice. It's
right.
Very nice.
And our daughter also got a tattoo that same day too.
Right.
But I was just letting everybody know that I got the tattoo. And if you know people, sometimes to shed some bad baggage, you go and do things that you like to do. And I was wanting to complete this tattoo, so I actually completed the tattoo.
Yeah.
And I love the tattoo. So that's really how I let my wife know that I'm interested, because I didn't let
that is not how you let me know you're interested.
For anybody who knows, you know how you sneak in some stuff. That was my way of that was my first initial way of saying, you know, hey, because I didn't let anybody else know.
You showed me all your stuff, and I was like, wow, it is pretty.
Thank you.
I was like, wow, okay. And then she's so. Time goes on.
But see, I didn't let nobody else see it. Other people asked. I didn't let nobody else see it. So that'll tell you. I know you didn't.
Right?
But I'm letting them know that I didn't let nobody else see this. And don't be sitting there talking about,
she's not going to let nobody else see it anymore. So don't even worry about it. So don't ask to see it, because you're not going to see it. But, so anyway, we're talking.
Yes.
And we're in deep conversation. And Aisha says to me, I'm interested.
Yeah.
And I was like, interested in what?
Well, first, let me give you a little backlog. I did ask her, was she involved with anybody, all of the particulars that we asked.
And at this point, I was celibate.
So was I.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
No, you were with what's her name?
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Yeah, it does count.
It counts. Tell her that doesn't count.
Yeah,
that
it
doesn't
counts.
count.
That absolutely does count.
Well,
it absolutely does.
See, why I say it doesn't count, and I'm sure it does count. I'm not that I'm sure it counts. It does count. But I was celibate 13 years, working on myself, working on my family, my goals, and everything when
Before
I met
homegirl.
The first young lady. And then I met my wife.
Right.
So I think that was a stumble, get out the gate type of thing. And then I met my wife. So I said that doesn't count, because that was a get out my gate kind of thing. Put my toes back in the water type of thing. Before I met my wife, you know. But I told her I was interested.
Yeah, and I was like, interested in what?
And I'm like, oh my God. Because I can imagine she looking at the phone talking about, what's she talking about?
Right, because I was like,
interested in what?
What is she interested in? And you were like, you.
Exactly.
And I was like, who?
And I'm like, you.
I'm like, you're interested in me.
This is why I called it a butterfly, because sometimes things used to go right over her head, you know.
Sometimes things went over my head, but I was really confused. I was really like, who is she talking about?
And obviously is the person that I'm sitting here next to, married to now.
Okay. So finally I was like, oh, okay, she's interested in me. Wow. And I was like, okay, well, I'm a big girl. And she was like, yeah, I've seen you. Right. And I was like, where did you see me? And she was like, in New York. I was like, when did you see me in New York?
Yeah, because see, neither one of us are skinny minis, and I'm not saying for those who are very toned and small, anything wrong with that. I'm just letting her know I'm not small myself at all.
Right.
And my preference is not to have somebody that's smaller,
Yeah,
I
likes them thick.
I do like them thick. I like something to hold on to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Simple. I mean, I'm not going to shy away from that.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I like. What I like. Not to say what you like. Whatever you like, all right with me.
Mm-hmm.
But I just had to let her know I seen her.
Right. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, that I was like, okay, well, that's that. Where do we go from here?
Right.
And so then I was like, okay, let me see where this goes.
Exactly.
And at that time, now, okay, this is probably, there's a lot of stuff that we're skipping because it's probably going to be story time later on.
We'll do a part 2 if you guys want.
Or just even we can, on our own, do a story time. Like you'll do your coming out story time, I'll do my coming out story time.
Okay, we can do that
sort of thing, because there's a lot that happened in this particular period of our lives. Like there's a lot that happened.
Absolutely.
So,
mind you, we're not youngins.
No, we are not. No, we're not. So, I'll just say that.
Keep it clean, keep it cute.
I'll just say that at that time, I was trying to date men. Yes. Now, here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing.
Speak to the people, baby.
I was celibate for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, I have been with women for more than 20 years. Maybe it's time I start trying to date men. Maybe it's time I do something else.
What makes her think that?
No, well, I've been with women since I was 19. And so I was with women from 19 to 39. Then I was celibate for 6 years. So then I'm like...
With the marriage to a woman.
Yes,
in between
right. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Like I was... I was married to a woman.
Do you see how heavy the female scale is?
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying, so at this point, that's what I'm saying. I was like, well, maybe now it's time to date a man, because I spent all this time, most of my life, with women. Maybe it's time to date a man. Maybe that's what the problem was. Maybe I'm thinking that maybe it was the gender of the person I was dating that made the issue. So anyway, so I decided to date men. Now I say to God, I say, Lord, please send somebody my way. Male or female, doesn't matter to me, but let them be kind. Let them not worry about how much money I have. Let them not worry about my weight. Let them not worry about anything, but let them be kind. Let them be sweet. Let them be all of these wonderful things. I said to God. I said, whomever you send, be it male or female, I will accept them.
And to her, unbeknownst to her, I was making that same prayer.
Right. So now I'm still thinking it's going to be a him. So I'm trying to date these guys, and I run into them. I'm running into men, but it seemed like every time there was something wrong with each of them. And now I'm not talking about, like, it was just something wrong with each of them. Like one guy, I think he had some developmental issues.
Okay.
The last guy I tried to date, he told me that I reminded him of his ex-girlfriend. I was like, oh, okay. He showed me a picture of her, and lo and behold, I did look like her. I was like, okay, that's cool.
But she was dead.
And then, he showed me a picture of her in her coffin.
Have mercy.
I was like, word? I was like, oh, wow. So something's wrong with him. So I kept running into these guys. There was one guy that would have been acceptable, except he was much younger than me, which is one of the things I don't do. I don't do younger. Not because I have anything against people being with younger people.
Right.
I just didn't. My preference has always been someone older. So being with
My
her,
preference as well.
who is a year younger than me.
I am not a year
She's
younger
a year younger than me.
I am 8 months younger than her. It doesn't even count because it goes like this: blink, done.
Whatever.
Okay.
She's a year younger than me.
I'm March. She's July. 8 months.
That's 8 long months. When
Oh,
she was,
mercy.
First of all, let me tell you something.
Here she go.
When she was born, I was turning my head.
Here she go
I
again.
was sitting up. I was clapping. I was even trying to say some words.
Yep.
I was even trying to walk. She couldn't move her head. She couldn't do this.
There she go. We go through this every single time.
She couldn't do that.
Every single time.
So,
nevertheless,
whatever.
8 months apart, not a year.
And there's a part of between March and July, we are the same age.
That's right. Because we're the same age right now.
However, I am still older. Anyway, I'm not even going to go through this.
We go through this every time we talk about age because she swears she's super older than me when she's not.
Well, I am. Anyway, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this.
UTWA.
So, he was younger than me by many years. He didn't look it when I met him, but when he told me he was 35, I was like, whoa, that's really young. Right. And he had a 2-year-old son. I was like, man, that's baby mama drama. I ain't trying to deal with none of that. So, but he was really nice. Just, I wasn't trying to deal with that.
Not for you.
Not for me. So, going out with men wasn't working. It wasn't working.
I wonder why.
I'm just saying, that's not where God led me.
That's right. He was waiting for me. He was trying to let you know, hold on.
Right.
Hold on.
And what I know is when we try to do things ourselves, like when we try to live by our own will and not align our will with God's, everything goes wrong. So everything was going wrong. And then here she comes.
That's right.
Right? Here she comes, a sweet, generous, wonderful woman.
Thank you, baby.
Pops up in my life. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this isn't what I expected. But let's see where this goes.
Well, I can say I wasn't expecting it either. I'll tell you a little bit more about that on my coming out story. But I'll just say that I had 4 marriages and all to men, 1 twice. I'll let you know about that later on.
That's a whole other story time. So, okay. So, I'm talking to her, and before, I didn't know that it was happening, but I'm falling in love with her.
Yeah. Same here with me.
Right now, I was always the person who was like, how can you fall in love with somebody you've never met?
Absolutely.
Like, that didn't make any sense to me. So I'm asking myself, like, this doesn't make any sense. How do I have feelings for this person and I've never met her?
Right. And I know y'all are sitting there talking about, what? Y'all ain't even me yet? Come on. Come on. I get it. I'm one that said the same thing.
Yes,
and even in our Twitter group discussion, we even had that same discussion. How can you possibly, or is it possible to love somebody that you haven't met?
Right.
And
well,
I'm here to tell you
possible. It's possible. Because I remember coming home from work and thinking, I love her.
And I was going to work and I turned to specific corner and I was at the time working for one of the theme parks and I was saying, oh my God, do I love this woman? And I looked up and looked around and I'm like, yes, I do love this person.
Right. So the most logical thing was for us to meet personally.
Absolutely. Just to make sure that it wasn't a friendship type of love, to make sure that it was more of a...
It was real.
Absolutely.
That was real.
Absolutely.
And so we made arrangements. I bought a ticket to her city.
Yes. Which is Orlando, Florida, by the way.
And I wasn't going to say that.
Okay, well,
you said it. That's
yes.
all right. That's all right. And but I did say Toronto. So, so from Toronto to Orlando, and she was let me tell you something. I'm a very proud sister. I'm a Cancer. Very proud. Very independent.
Oh, help me.
She was like, tell me how much your ticket is. I was like, excuse you? What? I was like, I can buy my own ticket.
Well, let me make it clear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm.
The person I was with prior to,
right,
I took care of every single thing. And it's I'm a giving person in nature.
She used you, baby.
Yeah, I know she did. But I'm just saying I'm a giving person in nature. And being a giving person, she took advantage of that. And I allowed her to take advantage of that.
Yeah, so you bought everything. You
did everything, and I, made sure everything was done to the T.
Gave her money and all kinds of whatever.
All types of things that, whatever. I mean, live and learn, correct?
Right.
Live and learn.
I don't know who told her wrong, but I was not the one.
Absolutely.
I was like, I got my own money. I got a job. I work. I don't know what you talking about.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to do that. I was situated that I wasn't trying to be a mark again. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to be a mark. I'm originally from Jersey, and for whatever reason, and maybe it was the 13 and a half years of celibacy made me trip and lose my daggone mind. Yes, I almost cussed. Lose my mind that I allowed her to make me a mark, because that's usually not my position at all,
But there was other stuff going on.
Absolutely.
I mean, you were busy coming out.
Yeah.
Right.
I was busy now trying to live my truth, and doing that was very difficult for me. And I'll tell y'all that on another story time. I'll get more into that. But it was very difficult for me, and I'll tell you the reasons behind that. But
you thought you would have to pay for me.
I did. I thought I had to pay for my wife to come down there. And the reason why I said that, because she was coming to see me. So I was offering, because you was coming to see me, And
I tell you, if you were coming to Toronto, you'd have to buy your own ticket.
I got shut down real quick with that, and I was like, oh my.
So I bought my ticket to Orlando. The first night, or the first time. No, what am I saying? I'm saying
the
this.
Night before.
The night where I was supposed to leave to come to Orlando, I got to the airport and they had already boarded the plane.
Yes.
And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And they were like, the plane's already been boarded. We're not letting anybody else on the plane. And you're just going to have to wait or go down and talk to customer service and see if you can get on another flight.
Right.
And I was destroyed. I was like, I can't believe it. I started doing this weird cry. It was like no tears or nothing was coming. It was like, like that. It was weird. It was like, and I started crying like that, and then finally the tears came. And the whole time I'm talking to my people on Twitter, and I'm like, I missed my flight, blah, blah, blah. And I called.
But before you say that, the thing about Twitter, the Twitter family at that time, they knew about us. So they were rooting for us to meet. They knew every step that we took. There was a really good support system for my wife here, and they really helped us out a lot with meeting each other as well.
Right.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
No, baby, it's all right. So I'm telling everybody that I missed my flight and I'm destroyed. So I call my wife and I say to her, I missed my flight, and I'm crying.
And I really thought she was joking, because I'm like, stop playing when you get here. And it was silence. And I'm like, uh-oh, is she serious? Because mind you, I got to the hotel. I'm a clean freak. Yes, a little bit of OCD. So I went. Okay. A little bit OCD. And I cleaned up the hotel room. Wiped everything down, sanitized everything, cleaned everything, because I wanted to smell great. And this is our first time meeting as well, And it would have been our first Mother's Day together.
Yeah.
Because it was the 9th that she originally supposed to arrive.
Right.
But she didn't arrive that day. So I was a little bummed about that.
That was the Friday.
Yeah, sorry about the noise behind us, you guys.
That was the Friday that I was supposed to arrive Friday. We were supposed to have all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Saturday, all night Saturday, and then Sunday I was leaving. So it was a quick introduction.
All Friday. No, it's supposed to be all night all
day I was supposed
Friday.
to get there Friday morning
yes.
at 10, and we were supposed to have all day Friday,
yeah.
Friday night, all day Saturday night, and then I was leaving Sunday.
Yes.
So we were supposed to have the weekend together.
Correct.
And I was just beside myself. So I decided to get on one of those cheapy flights,
cheap
websites.
Flights, yeah.
Cheap flights. And I got another ticket, but for some reason, I got the ticket for Friday, coming back Friday. It was very weird. And I was like, no. And I had to then get my money back. They said it wasn't going to get back on my credit card until like 7 days. And I was like, I didn't know what to do. And it was my girls that, like, I left the airport and one of my girls said, get back to the airport.
Right.
And I'm not sure where she was, but she was in America, and she called Air Canada and advocated for me on Air Canada. And she wrote me and said, you have to call them and talk to them. I said, she gave me the number, she gave me the person she was talking to, and she said, call them, talk to them, they'll be able to do something for you.
Right.
So I called them, and I talked to a young woman, and I told her what happened, and she put down everything that I told her in the notes, and she said, go back to the airport, wait until the morning when customer service opens.
Right.
She said it opens at 4:00 in the morning. Talk to them, they'll be able to get you a new flight. So I went back to the airport. I spent the night at the airport.
Mind you, we was on the phone all night long.
The whole night.
That's right.
The whole night. And at 4:00 I went to customer service. And it was meant to be, because I didn't realize I had to take a ticket to get seen. And I watched this young woman come in and get a ticket. I was the first person there, but she got the first ticket. So I got the second ticket. And then she then looked at me, whatever trouble she was having, she was like, you might as well take my ticket because I'm not going anywhere. And then she gave me her ticket. So I was still the first person to be seen. Anyway, so I'm talking to this woman. I'm talking to the customer service woman. And she looks like she's come right out of the 60s. She had like the flip hair and the little hat on, and I was like, it would have weirded me out if I wasn't so desperate to get on a plane. And she looked up the notes on my file, because there was a file that the young woman I spoke to, she set everything in the notes. And
she really did take the notes. Let me note that she really did take the notes. You know how you get to some customer service and they're like,
I'm putting it in
and
the
there's
notes.
Nothing there.
Right.
She really laid everything out.
She told everything that had happened, everything that I told her. The whole situation was there. And so the woman that was the customer service woman that I was talking to, she was like, okay, look, I can put you on a flight that leaves at 6:00. And she said, it'll be $120. I was like, $120 for the flight? She's like, yes. I said, you're sure it's $120? And she was like, yes. I said, return flight? She said, yes. I said, are you sure? She said, yes. I was like, okay. I was like, thank you. And I paid the $120. She, what do you call it when they they organize it so that you can go on. You don't have to go to check me in. So she checked me in. She gave me my tickets, and I went right to security so that they can look through your bag and all of that stuff.
Right.
And I was sitting at the gates. Mm-hmm. It took half an hour, and I was sitting at the gate. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, ever since then, I am at the airport
hours before we have to.
I don't even care.
We arrive at the airport like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh my God, hours. Not a few hours, like hours.
That's right, because I'm not missing that plane. I will never miss another plane. God help me, I would never miss another plane. So, I got on the plane, and that's when I called you, and I was like, I'm on the plane.
And I got so excited. I'm like, all right. Because that night I wasn't too sure whether I should just
give up the room.
Yeah, give up the room and just call it a day, whatever have you. And just, just tuck my tail under it, cry silently going home. Truth be told,
Right.
But she called me back. She said, don't give up the room. And that's when we pursued her coming to Orlando.
Right.
In the morning.
Right.
And I was right there at the airport, bright early in the morning.
Yes,
took a picture of how I look, and I'll share that picture with you guys as well.
Right.
And I got my wife.
Yep. And she sent me the picture of how she looks, and it didn't even occur to me that I didn't know how she looks. I mean, it wasn't even that. No, it's not that I didn't get a picture of her, like, because we had pictures.
We sent pictures
of each other, and we also talked. FaceTime.
Yes.
Was it FaceTime?
No, it wasn't FaceTime. It was
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Because our daughter showed us, and I knew it, but she was WhatsApp me, and I'm like, oh, I can WhatsApp her. So we went from the telephone straight to WhatsApp, and I was like, let me WhatsApp you.
Right, and then so we could see each other video chat.
Yeah.
So it's not like I didn't know what she looked like, but I didn't know what she looked like.
Right.
So she sent me that picture, and so that's who I was looking for.
Right.
And
mind you, she thought she was taller than me, by the way.
First of all, I want to say that I am above average height, and I am not a short person.
No, but I'm 5'7", and she swore she was taller than me.
Well,
now, that's not tall.
I was in Tim's at the time.
But I'm not short either.
No, she is taller than me by an inch. I'm 5'6", she is 5'7".
She's 5'5" and a half.
Okay,
yes,
first of all.
And a half.
First of all.
You hear, she couldn't even lie about that.
And a half.
Right.
Whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Okay, I'm just letting you know. All right.
Okay, I'm just saying. It is what it is.
Okay.
So.
But y'all know, right? Okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
Okay. And. So, okay.
By the way, she's the shortest in the household, period.
Okay, no, I'm not. The baby is the shortest in the household.
We are not counting the baby. The baby's still growing.
Whatever. Okay. I'm not the shortest in the household.
No, she's the shortest of the family.
No, I'm not even the shortest of the family. Whatever. I'm 5'5" and a half.
She admitted
I
it.
am above average height. I don't even want to talk about this no more.
So, go home, baby.
Anyway, so I'm in the airport. I go down and get my bags, and I'm standing at an elevator, and she's standing at an elevator, but she's on the other side of the airport.
That's right.
And so I was like, well, let's just walk. Like, I'll walk this way, you walk that way, and we'll see if we meet up. And we did, and we met up each other.
That's right.
In the middle. And she kept saying, while we were on the phone, she kept saying she was going to, like, pat my behind.
That's right.
She was going to go pat, 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 squeeze, squeeze, squeeze.
And I did so. And I did so.
She did. She really did.
See?
And then we took a picture. We got into the cab. We took a picture in the cab. And
showing all of our girls that, that I got it. That's right.
And we made it.
That's right.
And that
safely.
Yes. And then we took the cab to the hotel. And my baby decked out that hotel room.
Thank
just
you.
Beautifully. There were candles and flowers, and and it was just lovely. And then in the middle of everything was my engagement ring.
Yes, ma'am.
My goodness, I was just like, oh. But mind you, I bought her an engagement ring too.
She did.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
And we shared the pictures with our family before we met, asking them their opinion about it.
Yes.
Now, my wife, being my wife, she set a amount that
yes, I did.
we can spend
until
our 5th anniversary. No, we don't have to talk about
how much it was.
No.
But I'm like this. I'm like, you're not spending $15,000 on a ring, because I'm not spending $15,000 on a ring.
Frugal.
I'm not even trying to be frugal. I'm just saying that there are rings that are not $15,000
worth, yeah,
that are beautiful still.
Absolutely.
And goes to prove, because I have a beautiful ring on.
And so do I. And so do I.
Anywho,
right, but I was even grateful for that, because that showed me that she wasn't materialistic.
Right.
That it didn't take a 5 carat, 2 carat, or whatever carat that you want to spend that money on, that she needed to have. But I did tell her on our 5th anniversary that I'm switching the rings. I don't care what she say.
Okay, but
but I
like my ring.
You can have your ring.
I love my ring. I don't know.
And I love my ring, but I'm just trying to say, on our 5th anniversary, I would like to upgrade that ring. Okay. And we shall see.
We'll see.
Because my wife is not like that. Oh my God, you just knocked yourself out.
I did.
My wife is not like that, nor am I. And being a chef, there's a certain ring that I cannot have. So I can't have lifted rings. Mine have to be very simple, as you see, which is still lovely. It got the diamonds and stuff inside of it. But I can't have anything lifted, because bacteria from food and contamination, so on and so forth. So I cannot have, realistically, this ring I shouldn't be wearing. It should be a plain white gold band. But me being me, I gotta have some dazzle somewhere. Come on, I gotta have some dazzle somewhere.
It's true.
And I don't handle food like that no more. I'm more of handling everything in the forefront, ordering it. Never mind. We can talk about that later.
That's another thing too. Anyway, so where did we leave off? I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry that we actually met and went to the hotel.
Well,
we was
right,
about
and it
the
was
rings
beautiful.
and stuff like that.
And we spent our first night together.
Another story. We'll take questions and we will answer them, but don't get too graphic, because we're not one that's going to sit there and tell you in detail what we do and what we don't do.
No.
But we're very open at the same time. But
just open to an extent.
Exactly. Again, this is our first video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you guys think of everything. And if y'all want a part 2 of this, or whatever you want to
just
know
let us
about
know
us, just
in the
let us
comments
know.
below.
Absolutely.
And bear with us. This is all new to us.
Absolutely.
And we are definitely just trying to be real comfortable with doing everything. So
absolutely. And let
we'll
me
get
just
better.
say, absolutely. Let me say this: we are introverts, and this is something that is a big step for us. But we felt like we needed to be a voice for all of. I'm so sorry, that is not cool.
Yeah, because I was gonna say
no.
what
I'm
the
sorry.
Heck,
I am so sorry.
I'm
trying to.
Because got my stuff all over the place.
I'm not trying to put your stuff anywhere.
Yeah.
But we are trying something, because we wanted to put positive content out there about lesbians with children. And share some story time.
We got 6 of them.
Yeah, we have 6 of them. And we don't say this one is hers and this one is hers. These are our children. So maybe we'll share who had who or what's what later on. Maybe. But right now, these are our children. 6 of them, okay?
Yeah.
And we share some of them on our intro, and I'll be putting up the rest of them on the intro just as well.
Okay.
So until then, you guys, thank you for listening to our story time.
All right, and stay sweet, and we will talk to you again.
Later.
Bye.